friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kimber and I am a Colorado girl in Texas. Today I am making some dinner for my family, so I thought, hey, why not film it and show you guys what you can do with the awesome pie crust that I made the other day. Made a really cool 5-minute pie crust recipe that I'll link in the description box below. Here is our pie crust. I have 2 crusts. Today we're going to be making chicken pot pie with a double crust. Come test it out with me and see what you think. Hopefully you can make dinner for your family too. Let's get going. Okay, so the first thing that I have here, I have 2 chicken breasts. That's all you're going to need for, I'm feeding a family of 5, so it's pretty stretching the buck. The only seasonings we're going to be using are salt and pepper. We're keeping it super simple, just basic stuff. If you want to add more seasonings, you certainly can, but I feel like you don't really need to because all of the flavors really stand out on their own. So I've got like a whole bag of carrots that I peeled and chopped very finely. Got some celery. I've got like 8 celery stalks that I've washed and chopped finely. And then I have a diced onion, just 1 whole onion that I diced up. We're going to be using our pie crust, of course. And then I've got a 1.5 cups of chicken stock, a 1.5 cups of milk, butter, flour, and garlic. So that's all you need to get going. We're going to get started. First things first, we're going to roll out our crust, our bottom crust. We're going to do a top and a bottom crust on this. You can do just bottom, you can do just top. Doesn't matter how you do it, just matters how you like it or how you want to play with it. I've played around with it, and I think that the consensus around here is that everyone likes it top and bottom. So, because the pie crust is so good, it's so flaky, it's delicious. So we're going to do top and bottom. Let me just flour my board. We're going to par bake the bottom crust. That way, when you put all of your ingredients into the pie crust, it stays nice and crispy and brown, and you taste the pie crust along with everything else that you're making. So it's fabulous. So we're just going to roll out, I didn't leave enough room for myself. Just going to roll out our dough. I made this dough earlier. I put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes while I was cleaning up the kitchen to film. So super easy to make it, get everything started, get everything prepped while you're doing all your prep for your food, cutting up your veggies while it's in the fridge. Pull it out and it's ready to roll. Okay. Pie crust rolled. Toss it into our pie dish. You can use a 10 by 13 pan. You can use, see, look, didn't even get it all the way up the sides. You can use a 10 by 13. You can use this pie crust, this pie dish. You can use a tart pan, whatever kind of pan you have. The tart pan makes it so that it's pretty without having to make it pretty. Because we all know that's hard to do sometimes. I'm just going to cut the edges off the crust where it's too big. And you can always add it to the sides. So to make this stay up, we're going to put, if you have pie weights, you can add pie weights to it. I don't have pie weights. I am going to use dried beans. I have pinto beans all the time because my husband really loves refried beans. So we make those, and I'll show you. I'll do another video and show you how to make refried beans. But we're going to be putting dried beans in here to weigh it down. Forking all of the middle and the sides to make sure that it doesn't puff up. You want to keep it nice and flat. Okay. I have parchment paper and just a bowl of dried beans that I keep in the pantry. And just a sheet of parchment paper that I'm going to protect the crust with. Toss it in. It's going to weigh it down. It's going to keep your crust from falling and keep it in place. So while this par bakes for like 10 minutes, we're gonna start our chicken and our veggies. Put this in the oven. Get going on the rest. So I have 2 chicken breasts here that I've trimmed all the fat off because we don't really like any of the fat. We're gonna season our chicken heavily with salt and pepper. That's all I'm using to season everything, is just salt and pepper. So I've got salt and pepper going on. It's a lot of pepper. It'll be fine. And we're gonna just, once our pan is screaming hot, we're gonna throw this into the pan and let it brown on both sides, let it get cooked up. Okay, we got our pan screaming hot. We're gonna add our oil. I just got some olive oil here. Put it in the pan. Let that oil get a little hot. Screaming hot. Add in our chicken. Season side down. Love the sizzle. Okay, now we're going to season the other side with salt and pepper. Let it cook. Okay, we got good sizzle going on. We've been in the pan now for about 2 or 3 minutes. Check it. I'm going to let it get a little more brown on that side right there. We almost got really good brownage there. Just like 30 more seconds on each one. Get that nice and brown crust on the outside so that when you eat it, it'll taste so good. Okay, let's check it, flip it. Look at that brownage. Yes. Yes, that's what we want. Look at that. It's perfect. It's perfect. Oh my God. Okay, let's the other side cook. Let it get all the way cooked through. If you don't get it all the way cooked through, that's fine. We're going to chop it up and we're going to put it back in and it's going to get put in the oven. So let this cook 2 to 3 minutes more on this side and then we'll add our veggies. Okay, we're looking good on our chicken. We're going to check our, still going a little bit more there. We're going to check our crust in the oven and see how it's looking. Look at that. That's what we want. Brown on both sides. This was a little under. They're both a little under, but it's fine. It's going to get cooked all the way throughout the whole process. It's going in the oven. We got brown on both sides. We're going to put it on a plate for the time being. We're going to cook our veggies. Turn the heat down just a smidge. And we're going to add our veggies. In they go. I've also got garlic. But you don't want to add the garlic just yet. You want to cook these veggies down first because the garlic can burn really easily. You don't want the garlic to burn. So let's just cook these veggies down. They're going to soak up all those bits of chicken. They're going to taste so divine. Once these cook down, we'll add our sauce. Our veggies have been cooking now for a couple minutes. They're looking really good. Starting to sweat a little bit. That's what we want. The reason we're cooking them in a pan while our crust par bakes is so that you don't have to cook it as long in the oven. You know, like when you go to Costco and you get one of those huge chicken pot pies, they're so delicious. But they take an hour and a half to bake. So I always get home from Costco and I want to eat right away. But you can't, you have to wait. So you cook the veggies and the chicken before you put it in the oven. It'll be mostly cooked, and that way when you put it in the oven, it'll all just meld together and the pie crust will cook and And we have to cook it for 25 minutes instead of an hour and a half. Pretty cool. Our veggies are looking good. You have to, if you cut them small enough, they don't take as long to cook, obviously. But also, if you cook them or cut them all the same size, then they cook evenly, and you don't have to worry about some being cooked more than others. As I say that, I have huge chunks of onion that I missed. It's all good. Get these all cooked through. Our crust is still in the oven par baking, so we're still good on our time. As soon as this is ready, we'll add our garlic, and then we'll make the sauce. Okay, time to check our crust. Should be getting close. Pull it out of the oven so you can see, maybe. Okay, hopefully you can see it. There's my beans with my parchment paper. The crust is getting a little brown, so it's definitely time to take it out. See, we got perfect brownage. And it'll get super crispy. I'm going to put these back in my bowl. See, it got cracked a little bit there. Oops. It's okay. It's still going to taste really delicious. Okay, back to our veggies. Look at that. They're almost done. They're getting really cooked through. Now we're going to add salt and pepper. Season every layer, right? So that way, everything tastes like what it's supposed to be. We're going to add salt. Don't over salt, but add enough salt to where it tastes good. And pepper. Last time I made this, I added too much pepper. I was like, oh my god, so be careful on the seasoning. Season to your liking, but season well enough that it tastes like what it's supposed to taste like. Okay, now we're going to add our garlic. I've got 4 cloves of garlic that I just minced. Add that to our veggies. Now it's going to smell super yummy in here. You don't have to add the garlic, and you don't have to do celery, carrots, and onions. You could do peas and carrots and celery. If you don't like onion, don't put the onion in. Whatever veggie you have, this is super versatile. You can make it however you want, whatever you have on hand. I love that you can mix it up, change it up. Like I always say, trust your gut, not the recipe. Have a little sign that says that even, because that's my true philosophy. Make do with what you have. And when you make it like that, and you make it with love, it's going to taste better. Okay, got everything about ready to go. Move that over a little bit. We're going to start making our sauce. The garlic is cooked down pretty well. We've got nice brownage going on the veggies. We're going to add, I've got 4 tablespoons of butter that I'm going to also add. You can omit this and just do the olive oil if you want to keep it lighter, but I like to add the butter because it makes a better roux to thicken your sauce. So we've got 4 tablespoons of butter that I'm just going to mix in. Plus it makes it a little richer because butter makes everything better. Now, as soon as the butter is melted and it's all combined, we're going to add in our flour. So you've got 4 tablespoons of butter. You're going to add in 4 tablespoons of flour, just equal parts. Butter and flour. Make a nice roux. And the secret for your sauce not to taste like flour is to let the flour cook out. Flour is raw. It's a raw product. If you cook it all the way through, it won't taste like flour. It'll just taste like whatever you add to it. which is what you want. So you gotta let this cook. Let the flour cook out for a couple minutes. We got nice veggies going on. This looks great. Stir it all in and let the flour cook out. And then we'll add in a cup and a half chicken stock and a cup and a half of milk. You can use cream, heavy cream. You can use half and half. I have milk. I didn't have any half and half or cream on hand. I have milk. So that's what we're using. We're using milk. Again, so versatile. Use whatever you have. If you don't want to use chicken stock, you don't have to use chicken stock. You can use all milk or cream. I like to use chicken stock because it makes it just a little bit lighter, but it still tastes, you know, creamy from the cream or milk, whatever you use. Okay, flour's cooked down. Add in our milk to make a really rich, yummy sauce. Chicken stock. There we go. Stir it in, get it all combined. Turn down the heat to about medium. Let that all cook up. Look at that. It's going to turn into a rich, yummy sauce. We need to season our sauce before we move on. Just a little bit more salt and pepper. Stir it up. We're going to switch gears while this is thickening our sauce. And we're going to roll out our other top crust. Okay, back this way. We've got our sauce going. Our crust is ready to be filled. We're going to cut up our chicken. It's just a little under, so it's not bad. It'll finish cooking the rest of the way through in the sauce in the oven. It's just barely under. It's going to be delicious. I'm just going to cut these into like super small chunks just to make it stretch. Mom with 4 boys, 3 here now. You make food stretch as much as you can. So we're going to make this chicken stretch throughout the whole thing, throughout the whole pie, chicken pot pie. Just small cubes. And we'll add it to our sauce. Let the sauce finish thickening with the chicken in it and let it all kind of meld together. Be super delicious. Can't wait to eat this. We got nice crispy chicken. It smells delicious. If you want to add other seasonings to this, you can. I just like it super simple. I'm going to add this back to our sauce. Now we're going to roll out our top crust. A little bit more flour. Pull my crust over. Grab my rolling pin. Here we go. Go to town. Roll this baby out. The more you turn it, the more even it'll roll. Okay, it's rolled out. Got little bits of butter in there. That's what's going to make it flaky. Butter is going to taste so good. It's going to be flaky, buttery, chicken pot pie. Bring this around. Look at this. Oh, looks so amazing. Our par-baked crust looks fabulous. I think what I'm going to do, I have this handy dandy little tool. It's got little ridges on it and it spins. And this is what you can use to make lattice, pretty little lattice strips. We're going to lattice it like they do at Costco. So you're making pretty much exactly what you would buy at Costco. Okay, we've got our sauce is done. It's super thick. Let's see if I can get a good shot. It's super thick. It's got our chicken, all our veggies. Taste it, see if it's seasoned well. Oh, it's perfect. Okay, we're gonna add this to our dish. Lefty and There we go. And I spilled. It never fails. I can't do anything clean. Okay, look at that. It fit in there perfectly. Now we're gonna do our best to make a lattice. It's not hard. You could just lay it on top and let it be. Okay, I have this all laid out. Okay, I have the first layer laid out on the bottom. So now the fun part. You have to pull up every other one, pull it back. Every other one, Kimber. Word. Okay, we have a lattice top. Not perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to taste good. I didn't even use all of them. I'm going to just use my little tool here and cut these off. Cut off the edges, and then we'll pinch them together and put this back in the oven for about 20 minutes, I'd say. Everything's pretty much cooked already. You don't have to do much more cooking. You just have to put it back in the oven. I could lay this on top. That'll keep, I'm going to lay all the extra crust on top. That'll keep our bottom crust on the side from burning. Improvise. Okay, you have a pretty little lattice chicken pot pie. Let's put it in the oven, and then when we come back, it'll be ready to eat. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. I think it's brown. I'm gonna just pull it out of the oven and show y'all how it looks. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Okay. My sad little lettuce, but it looks so good. It's brown. On top, it's boiling over. It looks like heaven. Not only does it look like heaven, it smells like heaven in here. It smells like butter and chicken pot pie and just all the goodness and comfort that you could ever ask for. So we're gonna slice this up and go eat some dinner. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. Tell me how much you like this recipe in the comments. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye!